Whoa, 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 at the break of the rising dawn, as the night's last shadows are gone, a spark ignites across the sky. Truth comes rolling in high. Hear the drum of the unheard. Feel the power of the word. We rise from dark to light, cut through the lies, ignite. Truth breaking through the noise, justice in our voice. From the silence to the fight. This is dawn and justice, let's rise. Across the wire, through the storm, we won't conform, we won't be warned. Every voice, every sign, we draw the waking line. Screens light up, the message clear. No more running, no more fear. From the ashes, from the night, we carry forward burning light. Dark to light, night to dawn. Truth lives on. We press on. We rise from dark to light, cut through the lies, ignite. Truth breaking through the noise, justice in our voice. From the silence to the fight, we stand together in the light. This is dawning justice, let's rise. This is dawning justice, let's rise.
Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake!
Right. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win.
Good morning, everyone, and this is Dawning Justice, your news wrap up, digs, and drop show on your way to work. So, I hope you guys are turning me on this morning. We have got all kinds of news for you this morning. I do want to go through Tracy's article today. We've got some election news. We have got Belfast news. We have got Anthony Carmelo news. Gosh, guys, I'm going to try to squeeze it all in this morning, but welcome everyone. And guys, we are broadcasting from pilled.net, Rumble, X, YouTube, and Facebook. So we are getting launched over there on all the big platforms and all the upcoming platforms as well too. And I see the chats are already starting to go off. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So guys, if you're in my Rumble chat, make sure you give me that thumbs up. Make sure you give me that repost and let's get some other people's butts in the seats over here. And we are also on X too. So if you're on X, share out my show, repost it. It's that little button at the bottom. It looks like the little thing, hit it and give me that heart as well too. So thank you so much. And we are broadcasting on YouTube as well, so make sure that you are giving us that thumbs up and that share, and also on Facebook. Give me a little love out there, give me some hearts out there. Or if you're like, I just want to give you a thumbs up, I'll take that too. So thank you guys over there on Facebook as well. And if you are one of my red pillars on pill.net. Make sure you give me that red pill, give me that repost. Let's get the show out there and let's get started. Guys, I don't even know where to start this morning. I mean, I do, but I don't. I will say that Mac 5x5 comes in on Rumble already this morning, gifting 5 subscriptions to Tracing Justice. So thank you so much for that. And looks like so far, guys, most of you all are already subscribers. So there's only one person that has claimed that subscription so far, and that's Mrs. B623. I could be mistaken, but okay, we got Leanne999 was also picked up that subscription as well, too. So as we have more people funnel in, I know that those subscriptions will get dialed out to people. Steph Sims also accepted that subscription from Mac 5x5. So Debbie V57 says, "Oh, Josh, there's nothing going on right now." And just before I came into the show, I'm drinking out of my new cup here, my Hunter's Blend cup, one of our sponsors, and I guess I missed my mouth and I spilled my drink everywhere. So I had to quickly change and get back into the show. I hate feeling rushed, but it's okay. We are here. And just remember that this episode of Dawning Justice is brought to you by justiceshrooms.com and justicepetclub.com. So if you want to turn off your check engine light and your pet's check engine light and get both of y'all back into balance, make sure to visit justiceshrooms.com and justicepetclub.com. All right, so let's see who all is coming in to our chats. Let's start with X this morning. Let's see who's checking in over there. So Denali was the very first check-in over there on X this morning. So thank you. Yeet Force, part of our Truth or Media mod team over there. Good morning, he says. So Preacher Seth, let me stop. If you did not, Garth97 accepted that membership as well too over on Rumble. So thank you, sir. Last night, Fellowship in the Word. It was about waiting on Jesus and waiting on God as they work through our lives. That was an incredible episode. It was one of our longer episodes. It was right at 3 hours, but oh my gosh, there was tears shed. There was just all kinds of pouring out from our chat, and it was just simply amazing. So if you want to go watch that replay on Fellowship in the Word with Tracy last night, she put together such an excellent episode last night. Guys, I just pushed the buttons on Fellowship and give you just a little bit of commentary. Tracy and Seth and Mimi were the were the real stars last night. And gosh, guys, they delivered. They really delivered. So thank you all for that. And you can find, if you want to rewatch it on X, it's under Justice Cometh, my highlight tab. I've got it in there. And you can also find us on Rumble as well for last night. So thank you guys. But back to the chat. So Preacher Seth checking in saying, most excellent fellowship message last night. God gave us another day to do his work. Absolutely. Nabil checking in, Steph checking in, Kelly B checking in over there on X, Cindy Rocks 260 checking in on X, and she says, good morning. Ding dong, the bully of the Middle East is dead. President Donald J. Trump. And I've got a screen grab that he just posted. It's going to be an eventful day. It's going to be a very, very eventful day today. Let's see who else we got checking in. Spammer Girl, our Facebook manager for Tracing Justice and a Truther Media mod. She is all over the place. So thank you this morning for waking up and checking in with us. And let's see who else we got. Janie checking in. That's Root Bear 24 over on X. And Scout Mom checking in. Coffee Talk with Sandra. So she is checking in. Make sure you're checking her out on pill.net. And that's Coffee Talk with Sandra. She puts out some great shows, and she has a great game show. Sandra, I know that you've invited us. Our lives have just been pretty full because I don't know if you know this, but we just had our 8th grandchild. Our daughter had a C-section. Actually, Tracy is going over there this morning to help her very first thing this morning with all the kiddos. They've got doctor's appointments and all that. So our life has been kind of crazy lately, and it's just been a struggle putting out our shows. And so, Sandra, I hope to get on your game show over there on pill.net one day. It looks like a blast. So check it out over there. Coffee Talk with Sandra over there on pill.net. All right, so we got Wendy Day checking in, Jen checking in, Kabat Jen, and Cynthia checking in. And let's see here, Signal Over Noise. That's me. That's one of our co-hosts over there on Fellowship in the Word. So part of our Truther Media contributor team. So I think I've got everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, that was not my intentions. So I think I do. I think I'm caught up over there. So on YouTube, Wavefarm Studios, part of our Truther Media mod team over there. That is Yeet Force checking in over there on YouTube. Kelly B checking in. Monica Rodriguez checking in. Messi 1969 checking in. Stephanie Sims checking in over there and making it make sense over there on YouTube. Already chatting away. And on pill.net, we have MS2 Patriots. So good morning, and Coffee Talk with Sandra, double dipping over there on Pilled. And Seaver, hello again. So thank you guys so much for the love over there on Pilled.net. We love our Pilled family. All right, so let's see here. Facebook, we've got Lana and Tracy checking in. That's not my Tracy, that's Tracy and Niece. So welcome in over there on Facebook as well. All right, the big chat, the Rumble chat. I mean, you can see the green all over, the chats right here. So that's the happening place to be. Jeff 82 ABM, part of our Truther Media mod team, saying just stopping in, say good morning and be blessed today, heading into work. And Yeet Force checking in also. Kelly checking in. Tense 15, good morning, friends, she says. Nana 2112, good morning. And Leanne 999. See who else we got in here. Debbie V57 and Onward Truth. Good morning. Bibby's Barn checking in this morning. Julie Donuts checking in saying, good morning, Patriots. Going to be a great day. Absolutely. Mrs. B623, good morning. And let's see here. Mac 5x5 already checking in this morning, gifting those subscriptions. And guys, I absolutely love it when you guys throw me a little bit of love over there on Rumble or wherever that you're throwing me love to. It helps keep the lights on. So we have operating cost, and we have a little mini company to run. So thank you so much for all of your donations. And let's see here. Who else we got? Donnie Duble checking in. Good morning. American Gigi checking in. Good morning. Good morning. R. Pierce 17, Dieter 7757, Steph Sims, Garth 97. And let's see here. Gosh, guys, K9 Andrea, part of our Truther Media mod team. So, and I am so glad that she is healing up. So thank you. And prayers continued for Andrea as her recovery continues. Let's see. Glenn Huggins checking in late over there on YouTube. So good morning. All well, not late. I mean, everybody's just kind of getting up. So let's see here. USAID paid, part of our Truther Media mod team checking in over there on Rumble as well. So good morning. A Dutch Rumbler, good morning, and my amazing American brothers and sisters. And hi, Josh. What's going on, my friend? And I think that's everybody. I think I have finally caught up with the chats. These call outs are getting longer and longer every day, but that's a good thing. Hey, Mark, thank you for checking in over there on Rumble as well. So thank you so much. Guys, I'm about ready to get started. So before we go, though, before we start diving into everything, I do want to give you kind of like a little heads up from one of our sponsors, dawningcoffee.com by Hunter's Blend Coffee. So, guys, they even have like tumblers. Mike sent me a tumbler and he's like, Josh, you got to check this thing out. It's pretty sweet. I mean, it's etched right here. That's pretty cool. So I'm drinking my little drink right here. I'm not a coffee drinker, but Tracy is. RNG 560, thank you for checking in. Danny 12662 accepted that membership over there on Rumble. So thank you so much. Great cup. Awesome. And also, they have excellent coffee. So if you don't know, they offer whole beans, they offer the grounds, and they even offer the pods. So as you can see right there, there's their 4 blends: their original roast, black powder, Java rum, and Tracy's favorite, Dawn's Early Light. She absolutely loves that coffee. And you can also, you saw the sample pack, but you can also buy whatever flavor in bulk that you want as well. And remember, you saw me yesterday. I was wearing that T-shirt. It says, I like my coffee black and I like my tea in the harbor. And that is one of the most comfortable. Listen, guys, I sell T-shirts. Mike's T-shirt right here is one of the softest T-shirts I have ever seen in my life and ever felt in my life. And he also sells mugs. I mean, look at that. The Great Awakening. You can't get any better than Hunter's Blend Coffee and giving your money to a true patriot company. So if that interests you and you're like, well, I kind of want to try some new coffee. He uses the top 6% of the beans in the world to roast. So you're getting top shelf stuff. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than what you get at Walmart. And for good reason. It's good, wholesome product. So check it out over there on www.dawningcoffee.com and use my promo code Tracing Justice, all one word, for 10% off of your first order. So I want to go into today's daily devotional. Yeah, Bibby's, I want that T-shirt. It's an awesome T-shirt. Steve's got one too, and he loves it. So I do want to go into our daily devotional today by Seth. It's a hard hitter. I mean, lately, all of our daily devotionals have been hard hitters. So let's go ahead and dive in. Preacher Seth says, do you ever feel tired, anxious, overwhelmed, or just feel nothing at all? This is for you. Not everything in the Christian life is solved by trying harder. And sometimes even long prayers don't help. Not because prayer doesn't work, but because you're already worn out. And God isn't asking you to push through exhaustion. He's inviting you to lean on Him in it And that's part of that message from waiting on God, how God works. I can't stress enough. Go watch that episode from last night. So instead of forcing something big, just turn your heart back to Him in a simple, honest way. Right where you are. Here are your short, powerful prayers. If you're tired, like you've got nothing left to give, Lord, I don't have strength today. Be my strength. Hey, Spammer Girl Q, thank you for checking in over on Rumble. If your mind is anxious or overwhelmed, spinning restless, you are here. You are enough for this moment. I rest in you. If you feel numb or distant, like God is far away, again, going back to last night's message, a lot of people say, God, you're not seeing me. I'm asking you over and over and over and over. But ladies and gentlemen, God is working in your lives always. He has never left you. So if you feel numb or distant, like God is far away, I don't feel you, but I still belong to you, and you're still near. If you've messed up, said something, did something, reacted wrong, that was me. Now live through me. Hey, Twice Barb, thank you for checking in over there on Rumble. That was me. Now live through me. No spiraling, no hiding, just return. If you feel stuck or unsure on what to do next, guide me. I'll follow. It is not complicated theology. This is how we actually walk with Him. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Philippians 4:6-7. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and by supplication, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Galatians 2:20. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer where I live, but Christ lives in me. A lot of people twist that right there, and they want to talk about like this Christ consciousness and everything. Choose your words wisely, people. That Christ consciousness talk, that is Gnosticism. Not going to go off on a tangent on that. Just do your research. So the pattern is simple. When you notice yourself struggling, don't try harder. Hey, Mr. Texas Grass, thank you for checking in over there on YouTube. Turn back. Rely on Him. Keep going. You're not summoning Christ like a genie. You're not trying to make Him show up. He's already there. Closer than your next breath. You're just ceasing to ignore Him. Not trying harder, but reconnecting. And sometimes that small, quiet turn back to Him is what steadies everything. Absolutely. Seth, thank you so much for that devotional this morning. I will share that out after I get done with the show. Man, our Truth or Media team and y'all out there, I've seen some of your all's devotionals that you put out there. That's the mission. That's to be the calm in the storm. That's what we're supposed to do. And we're supposed to lead people to Christ. I know my show turned into kind of like a sermon yesterday. I'm not going to apologize for it, though. It's what God had put on my heart. He felt like that what He had to say through me was a little bit more important than the news yesterday. And that's what happens sometimes on Dawning Justice. We always put the Lord first. So if He's telling me to deliver His message, that's what I'm going to do. You know, so thank you guys. Thank you for all your support out there from yesterday's episode. Guys, the news. So, a lot of you, thanks, Yeet. I appreciate that over there on Rumble. So, a lot of you, I see a lot of black pillars out there. They want things to happen. And again, we talked about it. That's why last night's episode was so important in Fellowship in the Word. That it's in God's time. This is God's plan. You know, just a little bit of a backstory from Fellowship in the Word last night. We were talking about Abraham, how he wanted a child. Abraham couldn't see down the road what was coming from his lineage. All he could see is he wanted a child. So very bad. Didn't have one till he was 100 years old. But God's plan was perfect. That was the start. That one child was the start of a lineage that made its way to David. And then it's made its way to our Savior Jesus Christ. His ultimate plan to save us all was to send his one and only Son to die on the cross, and it all started with Abraham. So we may not see, as I say, I think, God says, I think that God has the 100,000-foot view on everything, 500,000-foot view. We talk about having the 40,000-foot view on everything that's going on in the political sphere and everything. Thank you, Maureen, over there on YouTube. I appreciate that comment. So just, if you're in this season of waiting, just stand firm with him. It's in his timing. Now, also, I want to let you all read a very, very important Q drop. I think that this drop is so very important right now that we remember this, because Q said this was going to be biblical. Q never said this was going to be easy. I mean, just look at Belfast right now. It's on fire. They're trying to take their country back. We'll get back into more of that later. Hey, Florida Girl 1985, thanks for the check-in over there on Rumble. Also, Marnie, thank you for checking in over there on Facebook. So I want you to watch this video and really read it and process that everything that we've gone through right now and we're going through right now, it's for a reason. It's in God's plan. It's going to be biblical. For my peeps listening in the car that can't follow along and read what was just played, hey, D-Bar6, thank you for checking in over there on Rumble. We've also got some late check-ins over there on X, Trishy Q, and Tony, good morning over there, and Wendy Marie checking in as well. We got Danny B also checking in over there on YouTube. I was looking at my stuff, so I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, Spammy, I will put that clip on Facebook. So I want to read that drop that I just played. Hey, Casey, good morning. Checking in over there on Rumble, part of our Truth or Media team. Q post 4550. And Anon says to Q, I see what's happening, but I would like to see you guys do something about it already. We know all of this. We are helpless to it all. So the real question, Q, is do you see what is happening? Q responds, hey, thank you, Trisha Q, for the check-in over there on Rumble. Q responds, fear not. We are not helpless. Enough must see. It is the only way. You are being presented with the gift of vision, the ability to see clearly what they have hid from you for so long, illumination. Their deception, dark actions on full display. People are waking up in mass. People are no longer blind. Hey, Carrie girl, thank you for the check-in over there on Rumble. Do you think it's a coincidence that they banned and prevent you from attending church house of worship? That was during COVID that this drop come out. It was 6/30/2020. Hey, Tammy, for real, thank you for checking in over there on Rumble. Anti-American, anti-God. One must only look to see. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. Let the light guide you. Find peace through prayer. Biblical Q. And that's why that you have to be, if you have been awakened early. Mine was back in 2017. Actually, a little bit actually. I just wasn't fully awake. Tracy's been fully awake a lot longer than I have. It's been a long road, people. It's been a long road. But God woke you up for a reason. God removed the scales from your eyes early on for a reason. So you can help others through this. And you can also help illuminate the others as well by carrying out the mission, asking counter questions, pointing out the relative news to everything. The news is unlocking the map daily. If you're on my X feed, you'll see. I'll say, "Yep, look, guys, the news unlocked the map this one. We already knew about this." So it's hard going through all this stuff. It's because we know all of this. The Anon says, we know all of this. We are helpless to it all. And that's why Q says that we have to rely on God and peace through prayer. This is one of the hardest things that we will ever go through in our lives, is the waiting part. Because God is working his magic right now in front of us, day by day, news piece by news piece, drop by drop. He's peeling back the scales of everyone's eyes worldwide. That's why you must remain calm. That's why you must trust President Trump. I believe that God has anointed President Trump to save humanity, not just the United States. I believe God's given us one last opportunity to make things right before he just ends it all. He wants us to have a great revival. He wants us to come to him. And the only way that that can happen is that we must walk through the darkness to see the light. That's why it's so hard. That's why we wake up every day. We do this for our future generations. We're going through this period of waiting on God to finally pull that trigger. And it's hard. All right, so let's get into the news, guys, because that's one of the more important parts. Hey, Curtius, thank you for the check-in over there on Rumble, part of our Truther Media podcasting team and contributor. So we're going to go through some election news. I want to read through Tracy's article. We've got, I want to go through the Belfast news, and then I want to go through the Carmelo Anthony verdict and everything that's going on right now. All right. Breaking. Video reportedly shows Los Angeles election petitioners providing homeless individuals with other votes, personal information, instructing them to forge names and signatures, allegedly offering cash and drugs. Let me read that one more time. Allegedly offering cash and drugs in exchange for voter registrations.
Fraudulent petitioners on Skid Row are now paying the homeless to forge names, forge addresses, and forge signatures of registered voters.
So do you want to sign? Okay. The first one.
I'm Joseph Albright. Okay.
The first name?
Joseph Albright. What are you using? Teresa.
No, I'm going to give you your address to write.
Oh, okay.
Follow directions?
Okay, yeah.
Robert.
Quickly becoming a widespread scheme that can be found on almost every street corner in downtown Los Angeles.
That's why they changed the election laws. Yeah, Steph Sims says over there in Rumble, you know that the money is coming from the NGOs, aka us. Yep. It is. We have paid for this election fraud through our own tax money since longer than you realize, unfortunately. But it's all coming to an end. QPost 4550 again. You are being presented with the gift of vision. Ability to see clearly what they've hid from you for so long. Their deception, dark actions on full display. People are waking up en masse. People are no longer blind. Joe Lang put out an excellent article yesterday, and I want to read it. This is good news. But and he was talking about Steve Hilton getting thrusted into the general in California for governor. But why did the Democrats allow Hilton to advance to the general election and not Pratt? The American people are being shown something important. They are being shown how the nationwide election fraud system works. The Democrats have created a quote unquote centralized system of election fraud. And pause real quick. Do you remember Joe Biden saying, we have put together the most massive and inclusive election fraud system ever? He wasn't lying. Because the centralized control of the election systems in California is centered in LA. The Democrats aren't afraid of Hilton qualifying for the election if they still control LA. LA will decide who wins elections statewide, and the Democrats think they've won. Here's why that's important. A centralized system of control is the only way the Democrats have been able to maintain a death grip on big blue states. California, Los Angeles, Illinois through Chicago, New York through New York City, Washington through Seattle, Oregon through Portland. I'm going to tell you one thing. Oregon is predominantly right-leaning, except for Portland. Here's what I think that needs to happen before I keep going any further. In the states, why can't we do like an electoral college in each state so that these big cities don't have control over the entire states? Something to ponder. Here's something else that's important. There were 3 other big blue states that used to have centralized control. They were the quote unquote blue wall. Michigan through Detroit, Wisconsin through Madison, Pennsylvania through Philadelphia. Trump won all 3 of those states in 2016 and 2024. Do you think that was just a coincidence? Read this, Q Drop 14 on October 31, 2017. Was Trump asked for run for president with assurances made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? Military intelligence. If the military was able to prevent the Democrats from stealing the presidential election in 2016 and 2024 by taking down the blue wall, don't you think that they have a pretty good firm grip on the crooked election system on how it works? Do you think the military isn't monitoring the elections in LA? Do you think they don't know exactly how they cheat? What better way to help the American people understand how the fraudulent election system works? Joe and I agree that, just off the cuff here, Joe and I agree that this is the season of disclosure. We always have to step out of our little bubbles that we're in and step out of computer world and see, as Tracy says, and see what's going on around us with our family and friends and what's being said. You can go on Normieville and Facebook, and no offense, guys, over there on Facebook, you're just not as awake as the people on X or Pilled. So we got to teach the people. Q Post 4550. Fear not. We are not helpless. Enough must see. It is the only way. You are being presented with the gift of vision, ability to see clearly what they have hid from you for so long. Illumination. So back to Joe's article. But don't miss why that is so important to show the people. Centralized systems are the enemy of giving the power back to the people. Smaller precincts are a future safeguard. The stolen election in LA offers the opportunity to expose the nationwide system. Watch California. It is Pandora's box for the Democrats to expose the inner workings of Chicago, New York City, Seattle, Portland, Detroit, Madison, and Philadelphia. Are the midterms safe? Big red wave? This is an important Q drop that has been shared a lot recently. Q drop 1197. And Anon says, will election fraud be revealed soon? Yes, Q responds, midterms are safe. Watch California, Q. That drop seems quite relevant. But I haven't seen anybody sharing this important Q drop. That, I think, is more relevant. Q drop 4960, November 7th, 2022. Why do some elections take more than a day to count? Can cheating be done after the polls are closed? Who controls the poll books? Who controls the databases? Who controls the elections? Why are the extra ballots printed if someone doesn't vote? Can bad actors hijack their vote?
Fraudulent petitioners on Skid Row are now paying the homeless to forge names, forge addresses, and forge signatures of registered voters.
So do you want to sign? Okay. The first one.
I'm Joseph Albright. Okay.
The first name.
Joseph Albright. What are you using? Teresa.
No, I'm gonna give you your address to write.
Oh, okay.
Follow directions.
Okay, yeah.
Robert.
Quickly becoming a widespread scheme that can be found on almost every street corner in downtown Los Angeles.
If someone doesn't vote, can bad actors hijack their vote? How? Why did the National Guard activate cybersecurity teams? Who gave the order to activate the cybersecurity teams? Why? To protect the elections? To claim the midterms are safe? Safe from what? Setting the stage? Watch carefully. White hats have secured many systems, but problems still remain. You have all the tools you need. Vote. Q. Did you catch that? Do you remember when Trump activated the military cybersecurity to monitor the election systems? It was back before the midterms in 2018. Anybody remember how many House seats Pelosi and the Democrats stole in 2018? Do you think that the military wasn't capturing the evidence back then? Do you think they haven't been monitoring the centralized election system in LA? Military intelligence doesn't just monitor elections. They also infiltrate. The prosecutor called for whistleblowers. Coincidence? Spencer Pratt. Patience. Powerful article by Joe Lang. If you're not following on X, I suggest you do it. And if you want to find him, oh, I'm sorry, guys, wrong one. There we go. It's at Joe Lang. JoeLange. Piece together a lot of stuff there for you through the Q drops and what's happening. Enough must see. It is the only way. Representative Nancy Mace has conceded defeat in South Carolina gubernatorial race after a crushing result and is now endorsing South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson for governor. She currently just has 11% of the vote, and here's her concession speech.
I voted to release the Epstein files and lost some support for that. As a survivor, I chose to stand on principle and stand against the Epstein cover-up. I chose to stand against child rapists. I chose to expose the names hidden in the sexual harassment slush fund. I chose to expose DEI judges. And I chose to expose the abusers of children. And apparently, I chose wrong if the goal was winning an election. I want you to know that I'm going to endorse Alan Wilson for governor. A law and order governor, and that law and order governor is going to be Alan Wilson. And I not only think he's going to win tonight, I think he's going to mop the floor with Pamela Yvette. And I very much look forward to that.
So don't vote for her endorsement. So if you don't know, President Trump has endorsed Pamela Yvette. Trust your president. Trust what's going on behind the scenes, because we don't know everything that's going on. A lot of people like Nancy Mace. A lot of people like Nancy Mace, but she is FAGA. You remember President Trump saying that the Epstein case was a big hoax? Well, he was partly right in that. There was a lot of fake whistleblowers that come forward, a lot of these fake victims. These victims actually turned out to be the ones doing the trafficking and recruiting. So what are they going to do? They're going to come out and speak against President Trump. Nancy Mace was pushing those individuals. Steph Sims, yeah, I mean, I get it. She said it's very hard to trust Governor Hot Wheels Abbott. You got to trust our president. You don't know what kind of deals have been made. You don't know if Abbott is under control. I mean, just look at Marco Rubio. Look at Florida. Look at all of that. I mean, those individuals have turned out to be excellent governors and Secretary of States when we didn't think we could trust them, but President Trump endorsed them. President Trump put them. That's why we don't know everything. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. 2080, remember? We only operate off 20% of the intel that's out there. So we have to trust our president right now. We have to trust his candidates and endorsements. Bibbs, so she decided to run for governor. Well, she lost. I'll have to do a little bit more research because Bibbs says, did she lose her seat in Congress? I mean, because she ran for governor. I'll take a look into that. Not quite sure on that. So here's another one that kind of scratches your head a little bit, because you're like, why does President Trump keep endorsing this guy? And he keeps winning over and over. Shadow of Ezra reports, Lindsey Graham, in his victory speech, compares President Trump to God and says, Mr. President, you're not far behind God. I mean, I don't like making those comparisons. I honestly believe that Trump is God's tool. But like God, absolutely not. He's just a man just like you and me. Mr. President, you're not far behind God. South Carolina has been electing Lindsey Graham since 2003. And here's his speech.
Thank y'all. We won. So I want to start with a bunch of thank yous. I want to thank the big guy, God. Trump comes later. Mr. President, you're not far behind God, but we're going to start with him.
A couple of check-ins. Rock That True 17 over there on X, and Sarah O checking in this morning. So thank you guys. Recall visit to border. Sarah O says over on X, who was there while president was not president? Okay. All right. So back to Lindsey Graham. So we're all scratching our heads on this. You know, Lindsey's in the drops, that he was involved with No Name and things like that. We're like, but then you've got this drop right here. Q drop 3612. Chairman Graham, it's time. The Senate was the target. Q says that sleepers exist. Hey, Diane V, thank you for checking in over there on pilled.net. And 4 Huskies, good morning over there on YouTube. So Q does say that disinformation is necessary. Q does say that we have sleepers. Sleepers go both ways. This is one thing that really kind of tipped me off about Lindsey Graham back in the day, that he's probably working on our side, and excuse me, and he infiltrated. I know that he goes against President Trump sometimes. I get it. But President Trump continues to back him for a reason. Let's watch this quick clip during Justice Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing way back in the day.
Is there a body of law called the law of armed conflict?
There is such a body, Senator.
Is there a body of law that's called basic criminal law?
Yes, Senator.
Are there differences between those two bodies of law?
Yes, Senator.
From an American citizen's point of view, do your constitutional rights follow you? If you're in Paris, does the Fourth Amendment protect you as an American from your own government?
From your own government, yes.
Okay. So, if you're in Afghanistan, do your constitutional rights protect you against your own government?
If you're an American in Afghanistan, you have constitutional rights as against the U.S. government.
Is there a long-standing...
That's long-settled law.
Isn't there also a long-settled law that it goes back to the Eisentrager case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right. That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be.
They
can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military.
Well, let's talk about can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a Supreme Court decision that said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
So if anybody doubts, there's a long-standing history in this country that your constitutional rights follow you wherever you go, but you don't have a constitutional right to turn on your own government, collaborate with the enemy of the nation. You'll be treated differently. What's the name of the case, if you can recall, that reaffirmed the concept that you could hold one of our own as an enemy combatant if they were engaged in terrorist activities in Afghanistan? Are you familiar with that case?
Yeah, Hamdi.
Okay. So the bottom line is, I want every American citizen to know you have constitutional rights, but you do not have a constitutional right to collaborate with the enemy. There's a body of law well developed long before 9/11 that understood the difference between basic criminal law and the law of armed conflict. Do you understand those differences?
I do understand that there are different bodies of law, of course, Senator.
Okay. If you're confirmed, and I believe you will be,
and he was. Sounds kind of like he was advocating for military tribunals. Do you remember that not Q post? Do you remember President Trump's Truth Social when he posted, "All roads lead back to Obama. Retruth if you wish to see military tribunals." Monica Rodriguez says Lindsey Graham served for 33 years in the United States Air Force, retiring as a colonel in June 2015. He served as a military lawyer JAG across all three components: the active duty Air Force and others. That's why you have to trust President Trump. That's why you have to trust the plan. We don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors. 20%. Hey, Pamela K. and Kathy Lear. I think I pronounced your name right, Kathy. So welcome, checking in on Rumble. Yep, Julie Donuts is in the house. Boom. Absolutely. All right, so let's move on off of Lindsey Graham. Breaking. Republican Steve Hilton has advanced officially to California's gubernatorial general election.
In California, the AP projecting Steve Hilton will advance to the runoff in November against Javier Becerra. Hilton, a former advisor to the British Prime Minister and Fox News contributor, making a strong showing in liberal California, being outspent by hundreds of millions of dollars and coming in first on election night, and now second, setting the table for a big race to see who can take over the governor's mansion once Gavin Newsom's out.
So what's going to happen? Hold on just one second. I'm reading a comment from X. Cynthia says, Josh, quick, honest question. If Trump trusts Abbott, then why would Governor Abbott have worked or, let's say, allowed these mosquitoes to be built so much concerning these things going on in Texas? I don't like it. I don't pretend to know. Hey, Megan Marshall, thanks for checking in over there on X. Pamela K also checking in over there on X as well. I don't pretend to know. Could it be infiltration? I don't know. I do know what I see in front of me, that President Trump says he needs to be governor. So I'm trusting our president. So that's my honest answer. I don't know. I don't pretend to have inside information, so I have no clue. MJ Truth Ultra says the November 3rd, 2020 election will go down in history as the greatest theft in American history. Nothing like this has ever occurred before. The entire 2020 election was decided by 4 extreme updates with a 5-hour window, which statistically hold a probability of rate of less than 0.1% of happening, which basically means that it's mathematical impossible what happened.
Just before we show you some new disturbing video evidence, we'll talk about statistical anomalies in 3 states in question. In the early hours of November 4th, 2020, Democratic candidate Joe Biden received several major vote spikes in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia, suddenly placing him in the lead when he had been trailing Trump by a significant margin. 8,954 individual vote updates were analyzed. Across nearly all updates, there follows a clear statistical pattern. However, a very small number of batches are especially questionable. The 4 most notable aberrations were 2 in Michigan, 1 in Wisconsin, and 1 in Georgia, and all occurred in the same 5-hour window in the middle of the night, when in some places counting reportedly had stopped. Not only do these updates not follow generally observed patterns, but their behavior is particularly extreme. For context, using publicly available data from the New York Times, here is a visualization of the number of votes by candidate in Michigan from the beginning of the election night to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on November 4th. Trump is in red, Biden is in blue. Notice the sudden and improbable spike in votes for Biden at 6:30 a.m., where Biden received 141,258 votes, while Trump only received 5,968. This extreme ratio is surrounded by updates that are nearly the same in ratio. This particular update is 23 times more votes for Biden, and is the most extreme update favoring Biden in all datasets across all states. The situation in Wisconsin is even more stark. A single update to the vote count brought Biden from trailing by over 100,000 votes into the lead. Thirdly, a vote update in Georgia at 1:34 a.m. Eastern Time on November 4th, which shows 136,155 votes for Joe Biden and only 29,115 for Donald Trump. The extents of these 4 vote spikes in question are more than the margin of victory in all 3 states, which means the spikes were not only abnormal in regards to percentage for Joe Biden, but also in magnitude of the vote count. Out of roughly 9,000 updates, this election was decided by only 4 extreme updates, each with a probability of less than 0.1%, meaning that had these 4 unlikely updates not happened, we would have a different president in the White House.
Truther Media keeps hammering the 2020 election over and over and over and over for a reason. It's to arm you with what's to come. Because there's still people out there that don't realize that the 2020 election was stolen. Hey, Burn Notice, thanks for checking in over there on Rumble, sir, over there in the land down under. Thank you so much for that. So we throw little snippets at you to keep in the back of your head. All right, so I want to read this article that Tracy wrote a couple of days ago on our food. I think it's really, really important that we go through this article and you realize exactly. A lot of us already know this, okay? I'm kind of talking to the ones that don't know this right now because I get people joining our show every day that's newly awakened they're getting and absorbing all of this information. So give me just 1 second. Let me get going here. So, convenience has a cost. And we are paying for it with our health. An article by Tracy Taylor, 76, my beautiful wife. For years, I've assumed cancer only seemed more common because we had become better at finding it. After all, our grandparents didn't have the technology we have today. They didn't have advanced imaging, widespread screening programs, or instant global communication. It seemed logical that the cancer appeared to be increasing simply because we were finally identifying cases that might have gone unnoticed in previous generations. And to some extent, that's true. Modern medicine has become remarkably good at detecting diseases. But the more I looked at the numbers, the more I realized that explanation doesn't tell the whole story. The numbers are hard to ignore. Today, millions of people from around the world are diagnosed with cancer every year. In the United States alone, more than 2 million new cancer cases are expected this year. Okay, let's stop real quick. Let me read that one more time and then this next line. In the United States alone, more than 2 million new cancer cases are expected this year. That works out roughly to 5,800 new cancer diagnoses every single day. Think about that for a moment. Before we go to bed tonight, approximately 5,800 Americans will hear the words, "You have cancer." Tomorrow, another 5,800. The day after that, another 5,800. Cancer is no longer something that affects only a few families. It touches nearly every family. And while cancer is the only one piece of the puzzle, it's part of a much larger trend. Over the past several decades, America has also experienced dramatic increases in obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, autoimmune disorders, and other chronic illnesses that were once far less common. In 1960, approximately 13% of American adults were obese. Okay, stop. Let's think. So in 1960, approximately 13% of American adults were obese. We've all seen the pictures of the beaches and things like that, and all the little skinny people running around, and life just looks grand. Today, that number exceeds 40%. So, to put that in perspective here just a second, when you go out in public and you're walking around, you're going to see more than 40% of America is obese, not just overweight, but obese. More than 38 million Americans now live with diabetes. More than 129 million Americans live with at least one major chronic illness. Nearly 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic condition. Approximately 40% live with 2 or more. Researchers have also documented troubling increases in several cancers among younger adults, including colorectal cancer, colon cancer, a disease once considered primarily associated with older age. Population growth explains some of these numbers. Improved detections explain some of them too, but it does not explain everything. Something has changed. The question is what? And perhaps more importantly, why? Now, before anyone starts typing, let me be clear. I am not claiming that every cancer diagnosis is caused by food additives, pesticides, preservatives, or chemicals. Cancer is complex. There are genetic factors, lifestyle factors, environmental factors, and many things we just still don't fully understand. But I do believe there is a question that deserves to be asked. At what point do we stop calling it a coincidence? There are billions of people on this planet living vastly different lives, different cultures, different governments, different religions, different languages. Yet, every one of us depends on the same basic things: food, water, air. If disease is increasing around the world, perhaps we should pay closer attention to the things we all have in common rather than the things that divide us. Because regardless of where we live, what language we speak, or what political party we belong to, every one of us eats food, drinks water, and breathes air. And today, all 3 are dramatically different than what they were just a few generations ago. Our grandparents were not surrounded by thousands of synthetic chemicals. They weren't consuming ultra-processed foods at nearly the levels we do today. They weren't exposed to microplastics, PFAS, forever chemicals, industrial food dyes, preservatives, emulsifiers, herbicides, pesticides, and countless other substances that become a part of modern life. Yet we are repeatedly told that all of these things are perfectly safe. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But I find it interesting that asking questions about them is often treated as more dangerous than the substance themselves. And you can see that little chart right there. It's pretty eye-opening. So if you want to go back and pull that image to show your family and friends, it's right on Tracy's X, Tracy Taylor 76, pinned to the top. The FDA and questions we should be asking. Most Americans assume that every ingredient in their food has been thoroughly reviewed and approved by the FDA before it ever reaches store shelves. That assumption would be wrong. Many people are surprised to learn that under the GRAS system, GRAS, which stands for Generally Recognized as Safe, companies can, in some circumstances, determine that certain ingredients are safe without formal FDA approval before they enter the food supply. So let's stop there real quick. Pause. So what you're telling me is these companies that want to put this stuff out, that make money and make profits off of this stuff, can self-regulate themselves and say the ingredients that they put in their food are part of the GRAS system, generally recognized as safe. Trust me, bro, it's okay. It's fine. Go ahead and eat it. It's fine. I know you can't pronounce the name of it. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and eat it. It's good. Think about that for a moment. The same companies that stand to profit from an ingredient can have significant influence over whether that ingredient is considered safe. Does that automatically mean corruption? No. Does it prove some massive conspiracy? No. But it absolutely raises legitimate questions. Questions that every American should be asking. Why does a system designed to protect consumers allow manufacturers so much influence over the safety determinations? Why are some ingredients restricted or banned in other countries while remaining legal here? Did you know, guys, that you can't buy Skittles, I believe, hardly anywhere else than the United States? They've been banned just about everywhere. Starburst, too. Why do Americans spend more on healthcare than almost any nation on the earth while chronic disease continues to rise? And perhaps the biggest question of all, if the system is working exactly as intended, why are we getting sicker? There's another excellent image for you to use in your conversations. Cahoots or coincidences? Some people will dismiss these concerns as conspiracy theories. Personally, I think it's an easy way to avoid difficult conversations. Do I have evidence that executives from food companies, pharmaceutical corporations, hospitals, and government agencies are sitting around a table plotting how to make Americans sick? No. But I don't think that's necessarily how things work. Sometimes incentives accomplish what conspiracies never could. And that makes sense because, Q talks about useless idiots and things like that. How do you control a useful idiot? With money and incentives. Food companies profit when consumers buy more products. Manufacturers profit when food lasts longer on shelves. Chemical companies profit when their products are widely used. Pharmaceutical companies profit when medications are prescribed. Hospitals profit when treatments are performed. Insurance companies profit for managing those treatments. The question becomes simple. Who profits from a healthy population? Great question. Because it certainly doesn't appear that the industry is generating billions of dollars from sickness. Whether you call that corruption, regulatory capture, greed, negligence, or simply a broken system, the outcome looks remarkably similar. The American people are left carrying the burden. Why are we putting this stuff in our food? There's another question that rarely gets asked. Why do we need many of these ingredients at all? Not why are they safe? Why are they there? Take artificial food dyes. Many of them serve no nutritional purpose whatsoever. They don't make food healthier. They don't provide vitamins. They don't improve the quality of the ingredients. They simply make products look more appealing. In other words, they exist primarily to help sell products. Artificial dyes don't make food healthier. Preservatives don't make food healthier. Shelf life extenders don't make food healthier. Most of these ingredients exist because they make products easier to manufacture, ship, store, market, and sell. In other words, many of them primarily benefit the companies making the products, not the families eating them. Hey, Prairie Fire, thank you for checking in over there on pill.net. The same can be said for many preservatives, colorings, textures, enhancers, and shelf life extenders. Why should a food product need to sit on a shelf for a year? Who benefits from that? Certainly not the consumer. The primary beneficiaries are the manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Longer shelf life means less waste, lower cost, greater profits. But every time a product is engineered to survive months or even years in storage, we should be asking what was added to make that possible and whether we truly need it in the first place. Our bodies were designed to consume food, not chemistry experiments designed for maximum profitability. And I do want to watch this quick video right here. So Tracy said, if you're enjoying this article at Tracing Justice, one way of being proactive is taking what God provided us, the power of the mushroom. It's a great way to get your body back in balance. Check out our full line of products by Forest Natural at justiceshrooms.com.
So I saw someone asking, well, will it help with pain? Something is causing that pain, whether there's some type of damage, inflammation, whatever it's caused by, there's something that's creating that pain. And all that pain is an indicator that something's wrong inside of the body. We're so quick to rush to chase the symptoms and get rid of this. Well, how do I get rid of the pain? We take things that maybe turn off, the things in our brain that tell us that we're in pain. We take narcotics, right?
Right.
That doesn't get rid of the pain. That never actually addresses the cause of it. It doesn't go to the source of what's creating it in the first place. It just turns off your little receptors in your brain that tell you you're in pain.
Still there.
And it's still there, and it's still a problem that needs to be helped. And God gave us these indicators for us to know something's wrong that needs to be fixed. That's all they are. It's like the check engine light on your car.
Right.
You don't turn that off. You have to do a diagnostic, figure out why it's on, fix that, and when you fix that, then the light goes off automatically.
So attack the root causes of your body by being out of balance. And turn off your check engine light, all USA sourced, made, and packaged at justiceshrooms.com. Our grandparents ate food, we eat products. Walk through your grocery store and look at the ingredient labels, not the front of the package, the back, the ingredients list. Many products contain ingredients most people cannot pronounce, explain, or identify. Ask yourself a simple question: why are they there? Are they improving nutrition? Are they extending shelf life, reducing cost, improving appearance, increasing profits? A tomato doesn't need a commercial. A strawberry doesn't need a mascot. An egg doesn't need artificial coloring. Real food sells itself. The products that require the most marketing are often the ones farthest removed from what nature intended. Even when we choose fruits and vegetables, many have been sprayed with pesticides, transported across continents, waxed, preserved, and bred for appearance rather than nutrition. We are often told to eat healthier, yet much of what passes for healthy food today is far removed from what previous generations pulled from their gardens. The one reason more families are returning to backyard gardening. They want to know what was used on their food because they were the ones who grew it. Our ancestors worried about whether they would have enough food. We live in a time where many of us have to worry about what has to be done with the food we already have. Our grandparents ate food. We increasingly eat products. That's pretty powerful. Our grandparents ate food, but we increasingly eat products. Case in point, pausing real quick. Case in point, go look at your individually wrapped cheeses from Kraft. What do they say on them? A cheese food. Odd, don't you think? Because it's really not food. And there's a difference. Food comes from the earth. Products come from factories. Somewhere along the way, convenience becomes more important than reality or quality. Hold on just one second, guys. Are you leaving? Okay. I'm reading your article. So there's another excellent image that you can share with your family and friends. It's pretty simple. Before I point fingers, let me be honest. I am guilty too. I bought the frozen lasagnas. I've grabbed the box au gratin potatoes. I've chosen convenience over effort. Most of us have. After a long day, it's easier to throw something in the oven than spend an hour preparing a meal from scratch. That's exactly why these products sell. They're fast, they're easy, they're convenient. I understand the appeal because I've made the same choices, but convenience has a cost. And I believe we spent decades trading our health for it. Sorry, guys. Had to kiss my wife goodbye. She's heading out for the entire day to help out with the grandbabies. But convenience has a cost, and I believe we spent decades trading our health for it. Not because we're bad people, not because we're stupid, but because convenience is seductive. It saves time today while quietly borrowing from tomorrow. So taking back responsibility. When nearly 5,800 Americans, remember, 5,800 Americans get diagnosed with cancer every single day. And millions more are struggling with obesity, diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, and other chronic illnesses. We should be willing to ask difficult questions, not because we're looking for someone to blame, but because we should be looking for solutions. If what we're doing is working, why are so many people sick? If our food system is serving us well, why are chronic diseases becoming increasingly common? If convenience is making life better, why does it seem to be making us less healthy? The truth is, no government agency is going to save us. No politician is going to fix every problem. No corporation is suddenly going to prioritize your health over its quarterly earnings report. If we want healthier families, healthier communities, and healthier children, responsibility starts with us. It starts with reading the labels. It starts with cooking more meals ourselves. It starts with supporting local farmers whenever possible. It starts with planting gardens, growing tomatoes, growing peppers, growing beans, teaching our children where food actually comes from. Guys, if you went and asked our children, where do we get food from? Well, Daddy, that's easy. We go to the grocery store. That's the way our children think. That's the way I thought. When I was growing up, I was part of the microwave generation. I ate a ton of microwave food. Janie says over there on X, eat beef, use tallow, bone broth, make your own butter from organic cream, and use the buttermilk for other ingredients, whole milks. Yeah, Scout Mom says flies won't even eat cheese products. Guys, if you ever take that individually wrapped cheese and just throw it out somewhere, it's going to look the same probably a month later. Yeah, Whip and Spur over there on Rumble says, if you can't grow your own garden because of demographics, get involved in a community garden. Absolutely. Mr. Texas Grass over there on YouTube says, like the medical industry, the food industry pays for approval, makes the rules and regulations. He said, I haven't eaten a sliced packaged cheese in years. If you went out to get you a hamburger, odds are you have. But kudos to you if you haven't, sir. Using the soil in our own backyards instead of relying entirely on food produced from hundreds of thousands of miles away. No, we can't control everything. We can't control every chemical in the environment. We can't control every decision made by Washington, but we can control is what we put on our plates. And if we're ever going to reverse these trends, we have to stop pretending someone else is going to do it for us. We have to take responsibility. We have to stop trading our health for convenience. I'm not asking anyone to become a full-time farmer. I'm asking us to stop accepting convenience as an excuse. We owe it to ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren to start asking what we're eating, why we're eating it, and who benefits from it. Because convenience has a cost. And if we want healthier families and healthier communities, we have to stop paying that price willingly. There's another great graphic there. Final thoughts. I don't claim to have all the answers. Maybe some of these concerns will prove justified. Maybe some won't. But I refuse to believe that a world filled with more synthetic chemicals, more processed foods, more pesticides, more preservatives, more plastics, and more environmental contaminants than any generation in human history has no effect whatsoever on human health. Common sense tells us otherwise. Convenience has a cost. For decades, we've been told that cost was worth paying. Faster, easier, cheaper. But perhaps the bill has been arriving in another form all along, our health. The truth is, we can't control everything. We can't control every decision made in Washington. We can't control every chemical release in the environment. We can't control every product sitting on the grocery store shelves. But we can control more of what we're been led to believe. We can control what we buy. We can control what we feed our families. We can control whether we read the ingredient label or ignore it. We can control whether we spend a little more time preparing food instead of relying on products designed for convenience. We can control whether we plant a garden, support local farmers, or teach our children where food actually comes from. We may not be able to fix the entire system overnight, but we can start taking back control of the parts that belong to us. One choice, one meal, one garden, one family at a time. Because if we're ever going to change these statistics, it won't happen through wishful thinking. It will happen when enough people decide their health is worth more than convenience. And maybe the solution isn't found in another prescription bottle. Maybe it's part of it is found in the garden. And don't forget about your pets too. They're out of balance by the awful fillers they put into pet food. Get your furry friends back into balance as well at justicepetclub.com. All USA made, sourced, and packaged. And again, so if you want to help out your pets too, justicepetclub.com. All right. So guys, excellent article by Tracy. All right, now we're back up and rolling. I mean, the article speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Frog in 911, thank you for checking in over there on Rumble. I wasn't able to really look at the chat while I was reading all of this stuff. R. Pierce says, we love mush puppies. That's one of the Justice Pet Club 24/7 products over there. So go check it out. Let me see who else has checked in while I was reading. Whip and Spur, thank you for checking in. I read one of your comments just a little bit ago. I think that's it. MS2 Patriot over on Pilled said, giving your wife a kiss is healthy for you. God bless. I believe that's true, my friend. All right, so let's dive back in the news. We've got a couple more topics to talk about, but they're big topics. Big topics. GB News says, Sir Keir Starmer, it is about time to follow America's way. It is insanity not to. Following the Belfast knife attack by Sudanese migrants, Beverly Turner urges the Prime Minister to heed Donald Trump's warnings and follow the president's policy on mass, uncontrolled immigration.
Where are we at? Because the world is once again looking at the UK after that brutal footage of an alleged knife attack in Belfast went all across the globe. A 30-year-old man arrested in connection with the stabbing has been charged with attempted murder and will appear in court in the city on Wednesday, but some details of the suspect have been released. We know that he is a Sudanese migrant who travelled to Paris, flew to Dublin, and then travelled by bus to Belfast in February 2023, where he was granted leave to remain by the Conservative government. Now, despite these specific details, unique to this case, but similar to several others, this is how First Minister of Northern Ireland, Michelle O'Neill, responded to GB News' question on the UK's porous borders.
I don't know any country that has open borders. I believe in an immigration system that is fair and managed and enforceable and compassionate and human rights compliant, but that is not the debate for today. The debate today is about our society, about our inclusive society, our welcoming society. Our conversation today is about our thoughts are very much with that gentleman who finds himself a victim of that violent and horrific attack last night. Our thoughts today are about creating calm in our society. So I think the message from here, from this platform, is very consistent.
That's Michelle O'Neill there, taking objection to a legitimate question about controlling borders against people from brutalised nations when a man lies fighting for life and another who has enjoyed the generosity of the UK taxpayer has been arrested. Now, Sudan's current civil war began in 2023, the year that the alleged perpetrator left for Europe. Millions of people fled the country after years of unrest following the 2019 overthrow of Omar al-Bashir, a military coup, economic crisis and escalating tensions between the army and the paramilitary forces. Now, it would be lovely if the UK could take everyone from every country beset with conflict, persecution and economic collapse, but we can't. And here in America, President Trump has made border security look easy. Under Biden, 6 or 7 million people came into the US illegally, and there have been several high-profile killings here by illegal aliens, a term of description here that caused one MP to recoil in horror in the UK today. Let's have a quick look at them. Laken Riley, nursing student in Georgia, was killed by an undocumented migrant whilst out on her daily run. Grant Ronbeck, a 21-year-old shop assistant, was shot and killed in Sacramento, California by an undocumented migrant over a dispute regarding a pack of cigarettes. And Javier Vega Jr., an off-duty US Border Patrol agent and Marine veteran, was shot and killed in 2014 while fishing with his family in Texas. He was targeted by 2 undocumented migrants with extensive criminal histories who had been deported multiple times. Yes, American-born people murder too. Of course they do. But these incidents were entirely avoidable. And I would argue that there is a higher risk of importing people into countries who may have been engaged in violence, specifically in war zones. Last month, US Homeland Security announced a 12th consecutive month of 0 border crossings here in America. That is amazing, and the UK could learn a lot from America. It's not like President Trump hasn't tried to warn the UK.
So we were very tough at the border. We would take people immediately back, and I had the military as a backup. Because you've seen this thing, we were trying to break down the fences and everything else. And we had people that were afraid to go and talk to them. Now you have guys that don't even do the talking. They just walk in. It's like unbelievable.
So do you think we should...
And we throw them out. We bring them out. They throw them out. They bring them back to Venezuela. They bring them back to different countries where they came from. And they're told never to come back.
Do you think we could probably do something similar, which is to put the military...
Identical.
...on the coast?
Identical. And you have an advantage because actually, you have so much sea.
And here was President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, talking to Ben Leo.
In the UK, we have 200,000 small boat migrants coming on boats, a grim milestone. It's almost 200,000. If that was happening, say, in the Gulf of America, you had rubber dinghies coming across, how would you personally deal with it?
Turn them around. If they want to claim, asylum, there's certain ways you can go to the U.S. Embassy, claim asylum, you can claim asylum, but we're not going to release you into the United States, never to appear in court again.
So they claim in
the last 11 months, not a single person has been released by the Border Patrol. And look, people say, Well, the secure border, the way we went about it, is so inhumane. It's so racist. You know what? It's such crap.
And this is MP Gavin Robinson, whose constituency is in Belfast earlier today.
Will he confirm that he and his government recognise that uncontrolled immigration needs to end? Will he confirm that the government needs to reassure and protect our population who for too long have had their concerns ignored?
So, Sir Keir Starmer, it is time to follow America's way. It is insanity not to. You use keeping us safe as an excuse for hundreds of unpopular policies. So what about this one? Protect your people, calm down your population, and secure our borders.
What is going on over in Belfast is the start of the people finally rising up and taking their country back. Elon Musk said, that's what it comes down to.
You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
Today, Elon, I think the British public are telling the world that they're ready to fight back.
Good. Yes.
Fight back. This is a worldwide operation. People tend to forget about it because we live here in the United States. We need people like Irish Patriot out there. We need people like Mr. Truth Bomb out there, just telling truth and fighting for their countries. QPost 4281. Remember, Belfast is under UK control, which is under control by the Crown. How about a nice game of chess? Objective end. Checkmate king. Do you attack the king at the beginning of the game? Do you attack and remove the pawns first? Do you attack and remove bishops, rooks, knights next? Do you attack and remove queen mid to end? Is the game being played public or private? Do emotions affect critical thinking? Add important king control pieces, eliminate rogue elements? Add, how do you set the stage, board, RE public opinion, optics? At this time, Q. It's time to take your country back, UK.
We're standing tall, we're gonna fight it all. We're gonna run the world again. The words are written deep within our hearts. So stand up tall, we're gonna fight it all.
This is what native anger looks like when it finally snaps, the brutal truth. Bald laid in the center car screaming, "Enough is effing enough," as Belfast burns. The Irish had decades of brutal civil war. The Troubles hardened both sides into soldiers who we know exactly how to fight when pushed. Now loyalists and Republican communities are starting to unite against the real enemy: mass immigration, Sudanese beheaders, and third world chaos on the streets. Guys, if you don't know, they're trying to behead people over in Belfast. That's why all this is going on right now. The people are rising and starting to fight back against all of this nonsense and evilness. This is what happens when native people forged in fire finally say enough. They don't integrate. They conquer. The British and Irish people still have the fighting spirit. If this spreads and the natives fully unite, crimes against humanity unite us all. The outcome will be absolutely brutal for the invaders and the traitors who imported them. Deport them all, seal the borders, or watch the fire spread. My England for the English. England, true grit, restore. No apologies, no surrender.
Now, I was very reserved in my last video, not so much this one, because it's getting serious traction, and rightfully so. First things first, I don't know the condition of the man in Belfast. I hope he's okay. It's not looking good. There's so many reports that he's in critical condition, he's dead, his eyes have been gouged out. None of those things are surprising if you've seen the video. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting what he did. He absolutely destroyed him. An attempted beheading is what it was. So don't let the media tell you it was a stabbing incident or blah, blah, blah. It was attempted beheading. Civil war is coming. And now is the time to actually... It's coming now. It's coming for a long time. The left are very fucking quiet. The liberal lunatic left are very quiet today online. And rightfully so, because even they... Surely to fuck, even they are waking up now and saying, what the fuck, okay, this is getting beyond a joke. Because they're trying to fucking gaslight you the whole time. Stop sucking the government's cock, liberal left. Dickheads. If you stand with the right side of history, you actually might get the government out. But if you keep sucking the government's cock, then no, you won't get it out. Surely to fuck now. Mary Lou McDonald has a lot to answer for, above north. Micheál Martin, Keir Starmer, Simon Harris. These are our fucking leaders, our leaders. It's going to get worse. Like, Stevie Wonder can tell you and see you, or see that it's going to get worse. Like, it fucking doesn't take rocket science. It's going to get fucking worse. It's simple as that. There's no point even bullshitting or sugarcoating it any fucking more. We now have an attempted beheading on the streets. It happened to Sligo a few years back. 2 men got beheaded for being gay to a Muslim man. But now, that was swept under the carpet, didn't last long. This has gone viral all over the place. This is going to be the straw that brought the camel's back. And hopefully so. Up the north, guys, the men in Belfast, I hope you have a good night tonight. I really do. And I hope you fucking destroy that government up there. Because this shit has gone on way too fucking long. Your daughters, your sons, your wives and your girlfriends, now men, aren't even safe on the streets with these fucking scumbag Somalians. What the fuck has Somalia ever done for any country? Why would you bring in Somalians undocumented? What did they fucking do? No. More attempted beheadings. More Allahu Akbar shit. And it's going to get fucking worse. Big protest up the north tonight, I think, blocking all the roads at 7 o'clock. The best of luck to every one of you guys. Show us how it's done, lads, will you? Please show us how it's done. Because we have a lot of fucking losers down here that won't get off their couch. And what they might do is, they might comment on these posts and go, oh, you're so fucking lefty, you're so racist, all that kind of shite. Well, hopefully now, guys, this is the fucking final straw that broke the camel's back. And we are together. We are together. I know we've had shit in the past, Ireland and England, but this is a new fucking fight. It's a new battle, and it's a battle for the saviour of the country as well, because it's getting fucking destroyed. I stand with the men up north. I stand with them. I don't care. It doesn't make me a fucking turncoat. This shit has to stop. You have to get Islam out of this fucking country, and stop inviting those fucking scum vermin into the country undocumented, unchecked. Again, it boils down to the fucking liberal governments, the soft cunts like Starmer, Micheál Martin, Simon Harris and Mary Lou McDonald up there, Sinn Féin. We want diversity. We want a multicultural Ireland. Huh. Put it to referendum and see who wants a multicultural Ireland. Why would you scared fuckers? The shit is about to hit the fucking fan, and rightfully so. And the left, liberal loony left, you better stand with us.
Are you seeing it yet? It's going to get worse before it gets better. We pray for everybody over there across the pond. We support you. Anything we can do to ever help you guys, we will. You've got to take back your country. You don't have a Trump. You're going to have to do it the hard way. Yeah, RPR 17, pray. It's official. The jury has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars after finding him guilty of murder-eligible parole after serving half of his time. Waters says, seems soft. I would have given him the chair.
Pretty breaking news to give you right now. The jury has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars after finding him guilty of murder. I'm told that he is eligible for parole after he serves half his time. The jury had the option to give him as much as 99 years behind bars. But again, they have chosen to give him 35 years. And I do want to mention, we showed you those protests, a bunch of supporters out here. They have erupted again. Pretty shocking. This is a direct quote. I just heard one woman, one supporter say, quote, those twins, meaning the victim and his twin brother who were there at the time, are, quote, domestic racist terrorists. So pretty unbelievable, Jesse.
All right, well, only 17 years and he's available for parole. Kind of seems soft. I would have given him the chair, but that's just me, Brooke. Thank you so much.
Carmelo Anthony supporters are losing their minds right now. What do I tell my 5 boys What do we do now? Maybe we tell them not to murder people and go around stabbing people.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. Let me ask you this right now.
Unbelievable. Next order. Now, Carmelo Anthony supporters have lost their shite here in the courthouse parking lot after the jury sentences Carmelo to 35 years in prison. They're now blaming Austin's Metcalf's parents for Carmelo murdering their son. These are truly awful people. You should have taught your sons to get the mother effing adult like we know how to do. I highly doubt you've ever had a true adult in your life, lady. I'll just play this for you. Unbelievable.
35 years. If he was white, we wouldn't even be here today. It would have never come to court. It would have never been no handcuffs. We wouldn't be here today. But because somebody didn't know how to go get an adult like we all are taught, somebody's life was on the ground and somebody's in jail for something that should have been self-defense. Self-defense. They said we're supposed to know how to act around white people. What the fuck is that? What for? What is that? What is self-defense? Is self-defense not somebody touching you that you don't want touching you and you defending yourself? What is self-defense? Murder? Murder? Hold on. The same guy that saved the life? The same guy that saved the life? You should have taught your sons to go get a motherfucking adult like we know how to do. But that was in his motherfucking face. You don't get to put murder on somebody's child because that could have been your motherfucking son. No, that could have been anybody's motherfucking son. 35 motherfucking years. Mother to motherfucking mother. You should have said don't give that man no motherfucking neck. They said 5 to 99 to life. You should have said 5. Because you know that shit wasn't trying to go down like this. 35 years.
Hey, I went to school over here, the same fucking school. I had the same problem. I had to fight every fucking day. Every day. And my friends, I couldn't deal with none of my problems at school. Outside of school. Dead ass. So I know how he feel. That shit is that's some fuck shit. That's some fuck shit.
One of my friends came out and said that Carmelo is not taking nothing good. He steady crying. He said they won't even let the parents console him. They won't even let the parents console him. They won't let him take him to the conference room. They will not let him console him. He keep crying and trying to calm down. If that boy end up doing something to himself, that's y'all blood. That's his blood on y'all hands. I feel y'all didn't stop your kids from bullying. He got his binoculars out. If you don't want your goddamn,
they think this shit a game. They said that the judge, this is his last case. He wanted this case personally.
But the judge wasn't even supposed to be on the case.
It was a black lady.
Why? Because you in the fucking picture with the fucking people coming out.
Who that is? That's the lady that was in there.
Q post number 9, projection. D's can't lose control over the black population. At some point, the Great Awakening will occur, whereby these false local national black leaders are corrupt and paid off to help keep the black population poor and in need. D's formed the Confederate States against freeing slaves. D's formed the KKK. Hillary Rodham Clinton mentor is who? Robert Byrd. What happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do D's lose the majority of the votes? Through the looking glass. They rely on the MSM to keep the narrative going. But tech is encroaching on their controls. They missed this in 2016 and desperately needed attempts to censor now due to CIA cash infusions. This will fail. This is what happens when, like I was saying yesterday, the family unit breaks down. This is what happens when all of the young black men start going out and dealing drugs and listening to the rap music and removing themselves from the family unit and not raising their children. This is what happens when all of these women get on government assistance and keep churning out baby after baby after baby after baby for paychecks. There's no one to teach these children any values or morals or the value of life itself. Where did it all start? It all started with the devaluing of our dollar. It all started, and let me back up. It all started when our money started losing its value. When we come off the gold standard, what did that do? That created from one person working to two people working. You see it in the white populations too, folks. It's not just the black population. It's the white population too. You get all these kids out there that going around and screwing everything that they see, and all these girls wearing all this provocative clothing because their mothers aren't there, their fathers aren't there, they're in these daycares, they don't know how to dress, they don't know how to act, they see all this sex on TV over and over. The black men see nothing but rap and going out and dealing drugs and joining gangs, and this is what you get. This is where our society has landed. But you have been presented the gift of vision. It is your responsibility to go out and make people see. Last thing. This was just a little bit ago. President Donald J. Trump, Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now, they all have to pay the price. President Donald J. Trump. Sounds like a storm is coming over there. Sounds like President Trump is done with them. Sounds like President Trump is done with all the games. He also says, 2 hours ago, the fake news media refuses to report how effective the U.S. naval blockade is. The most successful blockade in the history of naval warfare. Nothing gets through unless we want it to. It is a steel wall. Iran is doing zero business, not paying their military or any of their bills, and quickly becoming a failed nation. Lots of oil getting out. Praise be to Allah. He's being sarcastic, people. President Donald J. Trump. Whip and Spur says he is also telling us the Iranian leader is dead. I would say so. Don't know, but I would say so. Guys, that's all I've got today. That's I think it was a pretty good show. I'm very blessed. Tracy is very blessed. And again, I can't emphasize enough to you. I know I've said this over and over. Go watch Fellowship in the Word from last night. I know a lot of this stuff stresses y'all out. I get it. But you need to go back and watch Fellowship in the Word last night. It's all in God's time. Every single bit of it is in God's time. God is working right now in ways that we cannot understand. Just 1 second, guys. I'll read it one more time, and then we'll wrap with prayer. Q Post 4550 and on says, I see what's happening, but I would like to see you guys doing something about it already. We know all of this. We are helpless to it all. So the real question, Q, is, do you see what's happening? Fear not, Q responds. We are not helpless enough, must see. It is the only way. You are being presented with the gift of vision, ability to see clearly what they have hidden from you for so long, illumination. People are waking up in mass. People are no longer blind. Do you think it's a coincidence that they banned and prevent you from attending church house of worship? Anti-American, anti-God. One must only look to see. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. Let the light guide you. Find peace through prayer. Biblical. Q. Thank you, Crystal Loves David over there on Pill's Head. Josh, I watched A Great Awakening this morning. That was from Tracy's recommendation. It was amazing. I cried like a baby. Yeah, for Huskies, a lot of people woke up during COVID. Made you search for the truth. Absolutely. Trapper Tim over there, thank you for the check-in over there on Rumble, says dark to light. God woke you all up for a reason. Don't squander this opportunity. Step out of the movie theater and get on the battlefield. Get on the battlefield for our friends over there across the pond. They need us right now. All right, so I'm going to end us in prayer. Lord, I come to you in Jesus' name. Lord, hallowed be thy name. Thank you so much for illuminating and giving us this illumination into the dark, Lord, that you've removed the scales from all of our eyes, that we may see everything that is finally happening. And thank you for gifting us the task of waking up the other people. Thank you for trusting us that we are strong enough to carry out your mission, Lord. I want to thank you, too, for giving us that great armor of God that we don every day for you, Lord. That we wield the sword of truth to fight off all the principalities that run this earth. Because your word, Lord, is the only truth and the supreme truth on this earth. And we thank you for sending your son to die on the cross for all of our sins, Lord, to give us that path to glory, Lord. So we may sit with you and worship you in heaven and have everlasting life. That you saved us from the pits of hell, Lord. And as Tracy pointed out last night, that it all started in this grand plan. And it started with Abraham. And in your time, Lord, in your plan, Lord, led to you sending your son to die on a cross for all of our sins, Lord, and saving us all. And it was all in your time, over generation, over generation, over generation. So, Lord, we ask that you give us strength during this time of waiting, Lord, waiting on you to act, to pull that trigger, Lord, to let President Trump do what he needs to do, Lord. But in the meantime, Lord, we are here, Lord. We are here to spread your word, Lord, and to lead souls to you through Jesus Christ, Lord. We pray that you give us the strength, wisdom, knowledge, and courage to do just that, Lord. And I ask that you reach your helping hand down to those that are struggling right now, financially, physically, mentally, that you ease their burdens, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for everything that you've given us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys, I'm going to be raiding you over to the Real AF Patriot for Keeping It Real, coming on at noon. So make sure it's a little early. So make sure that you're giving him your thumbs up. And over on Pilled, let's see who we got going over there. I'm looking, guys. Give me just a second. Greenbeard's not on this morning. That's who I like to raid to over there. All right. Well, I will just raid you over to the King James Version stream. And if you are on X or YouTube or Facebook and you're like, hey, I want to check out this Keeping It Real, go to www.truthermedia.com. You can find our show schedule. You can find all of our America's 250 merch over there. And if you've liked what you've heard from our sponsors and you're like, oh, I forgot, where do I find this stuff? Just go to www.tracingjustice.com for Tracy and mine, all of our links. That's cool, Trapper Tim. I have an 1878 King James Version Bible. That is awesome. And guys, thank you. Thank you for the mod team for keeping all of our chats going. I very, very much appreciate everybody. And thank you for joining us today. And we will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern and also 8 p.m. tomorrow night for Tracing Justice, where we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to start diving into some of the Q drops because there's a lot of new people out there. They don't even know where to find these drops at. They're like, what's the Q operation? So we're going to go over that tomorrow night. It's going to be a great show. Tracy and I, if she's here, will deliver an awesome show for you guys. So thank you again. And remember, we got to remember 3 things. Y'all know what they are. Let's go make fishers of men. Let's go save some souls. And let's go save our republic. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
You thought you could bury me. Thought the dark would close in. You were wrong. You don't know who I am. And you never in the dirt and flame. They said I break, said I shame. Whisper threats through a locked back door. But I've heard sound before. You pushed and pulled, tried to crack my back, but I don't collapse like that. I don't run, I don't bend, I don't bow to fear of men. When the dust clears, you'll see. You knew what I stood on, but this ground's been here too long. Still in the blood, fire and breath. I don't scare easy at talk of death. You don't know the weight I carry or the hand that stands behind me. You can shout, you can lie, try to crucify, but chains you swing and stones you throw only make You don't know who I am. I don't stand alone. God holds my sword of truth.